Throughout human history, sacred oils have played a central role in religious rituals, serving as a bridge between the physical and the spiritual. Have you ever wondered about the composition of the anointing oil used during the time of Jesus? This question opens a fascinating window into ancient traditions. Sacred oils have been used for thousands of years, from the temples of ancient Israel to the cathedrals of the modern world. Today, we will trace the journey of hemp oil as a sacred substance, exploring its biblical roots, its period of prohibition, and its modern reexamination. To truly understand the role of these oils today, we must first travel back to the ancient world where the story begins. In the Hebrew Bible, specifically in the book of Exodus, we find a detailed recipe for a sacred anointing oil. One of the key ingredients mentioned is kane bosum. This term has sparked intense scholarly debate over its exact translation. While many traditional translations refer to it as fragrant cane, some modern scholars suggest it may have actually referred to cannabis or hemp. In ancient Israel, this sacred oil was used to consecrate kings and priests, marking them as chosen for their divine roles. It wasn't just for royalty. The oil was also used in rituals for healing the sick and purifying sacred spaces. It's important to remember that Christ itself is a title meaning the Anointed One, directly linking Jesus to these oil traditions. Whether cannabosum was hemp remains a matter of academic discussion, but the historical link between plants and the sacred is undeniable. As Christianity spread throughout the Roman Empire and beyond, the use of sacred oils, or chrism, remained a central practice. In the Middle Ages, oil was used in baptisms, confirmations, and the ordination of clergy, though recipes became more standardized by church law. Interestingly, hemp was widely cultivated across Europe during this time for fiber and seed oil, even if it wasn't the official church oil. There was a clear distinction between the everyday cultural use of hemp and the official theological materials used in sacraments. Over time, many plant-based ritual traditions were lost as church doctrines were simplified and strictly codified. But the 19th and 20th centuries brought a dramatic shift in how hemp and cannabis were perceived by society and the law. In the 1800s, hemp was a staple crop in both Europe and America, valued for its incredible versatility in industry and medicine. However, by the early 20th century, a wave of prohibition began to spread globally, fueled by complex political and cultural narratives. The once common plant began to be stigmatized, and its historical ties to religious and medicinal practices were largely forgotten or suppressed. What were once sacred or traditional uses became criminalized, creating a deep tension between state laws and religious freedom. Despite this, some alternative spiritual movements fought to maintain their plant-based traditions, even in the face of legal challenges. This period of silence and stigma lasted for decades, but the conversation was far from over. As we entered the 21st century, the landscape began to change once again with a renewed interest in hemp's potential. The 2018 Farm Bill in the United States was a major turning point, legally distinguishing industrial hemp from other forms of cannabis. This legal shift opened the door for scholars to re-examine ancient texts and linguistic evidence with fresh, unbiased eyes. We've seen a significant growth in plant-based spirituality movements that view hemp oil as a gift from nature to be used with reverence. This has led to several landmark court cases where groups have argued for their right to use cannabis or hemp as a religious sacrament. Interfaith dialogues are now exploring the role of natural oils in healing rituals, seeking common ground in ancient botanical wisdom. There is an increasing focus on historical accuracy, moving past Prohibition-era biases to understand what these ancient recipes really contained. Modern science is also weighing in, researching the chemical properties of hemp oil and its potential physiological effects during ritual use. As demand grows, the conversation has expanded to include ethical sourcing and the sustainability of the plants used for sacred purposes. While not universally accepted in mainstream faiths, an active and healthy theological debate is taking place across many traditions. Faith communities are reevaluating their relationship with the natural world, looking back to move forward with greater understanding. We've covered a vast history today, from the foundational anointing traditions of ancient Israel to the complex linguistic debates of the Bible. We've seen how the era of prohibition suppressed these ancient connections, only for them to be rediscovered in our modern age. This revival of interest and scholarship is helping us bridge the gap between ancient wisdom and contemporary spiritual practice. Whether you view this through the lens of history, theology, or cultural evolution, the story of hemp oil is a testament to how traditions grow. It invites us all to reconsider how our sacred practices evolve over time and the role that the natural world plays in our spiritual lives. As we look toward 2026 and beyond, the integration of ancient botanical knowledge into modern ritual seems more relevant than ever. Understanding our past is the key to shaping a more enlightened and compassionate future for all.